Here's 10 real estate exam questions that you're going to need to know. Welcome back. If you're here studying for your real estate exam, you know that this channel is here to help you pass your real estate exam and offer some tips for a good real estate career. So in this video, I'm going to go over those 10 questions. I'm going to go over the concepts, and I'm going to give you the answers to those questions. Subscribe to the channel if you want more questions and if you want more info on becoming a real estate agent. Okay, let's dive into the questions here. Question number 1. Which of the following properties requires the use of a lead-based paint disclosure? A. Single family residence, SFR, built in 1975. B. Senior citizen housing, built in 1986. C. Homes for the disabled, built after the passing of the Americans with Disability Act, ADA. D. Multifamily homes, built after 1990. So the main thing you need to know about the lead-based paint disclosure is that it applies to residential properties built prior to 1978. Based on that information, so the answer A, single-family residences built in 1975, is the only one that applies for the lead-based paint disclosure. Question number 2. A negative declaration issued for an environmental impact report. A. Indicates no negative influence of the development on the surrounding environment. B. Shows whether the developer had a previous record of poorly designed subdivisions. C. Is a positive statement made by the government in favor of the developer. D. Is typically issued by a government authority after initial review period. So let's kind of cover a environmental impact report real quick. EIR, these make no historical or future judgments about the developer. It is issued after the final environmental study is complete. And so a negative declaration in one of these reports basically indicates there's no negative effects of the proposed development to the environment. So based on that, the answer is A. Number 3, the Federal Fair Housing Act, FFHA, prohibits discrimination in the sale, rental, and advertisement of A. Residential units, B. Commercial properties, C. Industrial properties, D. Land used for the grazing of livestock. So if you just read FFHA, it says Fair Housing Act, you're going to know that it basically relates to housing, which is residential units. So based on that premise right there, the answer is A, residential units. Okay, number 4. The preamble of the Federal Fair Housing Law states its purpose is to eliminate discrimination in housing and to A, provide fair housing for everyone throughout the United States. B, establish Fannie Mae. C, provide low-cost housing for all. D, create equal employment opportunities for all protected classes. So if we read Federal Fair Housing Law, that's just going to assume it's trying to make housing fair for all, right? So the Federal Fair Housing Laws are broadly designed to facilitate fair access to housing for everyone. And the answer is A. Answer C actually is kind of a tricky one because it kind of feels like it might be the right one, but answer A is the most accurate. Question number 5. Which of the following requirements made by a landlord is unlawful? A. Requiring a 600 or better FICO score. B. Requiring cosigners for unmarried lessees. C. Requiring each adult occupant to sign a tenant rules agreement. D. Prohibiting the use of waterbeds in the property. Oh, this is kind of a tricky one, actually. So my initial gut, if we didn't know, because we're in California, would just be like, oh, maybe it's credit. Maybe you can't deny people based on their credit. But the answer is B. Landlords may not require unmarried tenants to have separate cosigners. Singling out single adults is unlawful. Requirements related to economic and financial questions are appropriate so long as they are applied to everyone equally. So basically you can't discriminate based off of marital status. B. Okay, so now we've gone through 5 questions. And so if you've found this helpful so far, please give the video a nice thumbs up. Okay, let's go ahead and let's go through the next questions. Question number 6. Based on the principle of leverage, an investor will A. Use their own funds whenever possible. B. Use borrowed money only to the degree deemed safe and reasonable. C. Buy income property with a minimum down payment. D. Invest in rental properties with declining values. What is the principle of leverage? Leverage, when it comes to investing, means putting the least amount down and securing financing. So, answer A, not going to work here. That's the complete opposite. Answer B and D don't really make a lot of sense as well here. So, answer C is the right answer. Basically, the goal of leverage, right, is to put the least amount down to acquire an asset that has the most value. Question number 7. 1 year after his real estate license expired, Claude renewed the license. Which of the following is a true statement? A. Claude can operate under a restricted license during his suspension. B. Claude has to retake the license examination. C. Until the license was renewed, Claude was not allowed to participate in anything that required a license. D. Claude is no longer eligible for a license. Okay, so let's just go over this. If your license is expired, that means you don't have an active license. So you are not allowed to participate in anything that requires a license. The answer is C. Until the license was renewed, Claude was not allowed to participate in anything that required a license. Question number 8. If a lessee transfers all of their interest in a property, the transferee who receives the lessee's interest is classified as A. Assignee. B. Assignor. C. A vendee. D. A vendor. Vendee. Are we talking about Starbucks sizes here or what? What's going on? No, I'm just kidding. Let's kind of go through the definitions of A. An assignee is the individual to whom property or interests have been transferred. The assignor is the individual who assigns or transfers the rights or interests they hold in personal or real property. And so the other choices, vendor and vendee here, those are specific to a sale and like land sales. So they're not even applicable here. So it's got to be assignee or assignor. And we know that the assignee is the individual to whom property or interests have been transferred. Answer is A. Question number 9. When two brokers make a verbal agreement to split a commission, the agreement is A. Void. B. Voidable. C. Unenforceable. D. Enforceable. So you might be surprised at this one. The answer is D. Enforceable. Oral agreements between brokers to split commissions are valid and enforceable. Okay, question number 10. When the vendee under a land sales contract makes payments, which include an impound for taxes, A. The vendor needs to hold the monies in a trust account. B. The vendor can use the monies for other uses so long as they pay the taxes when due. C. The vendor can keep the monies anywhere so long as they don't convert the funds. D. The vendor cannot hold the impounds unless they are licensed with the Department of Real Estate. So what are impound for taxes exactly? That means it is a separate account to pay for property taxes. So when a vendee under a land sales contract makes payments, which include an impound for taxes, those monies need to be held in a trust account. Answer C, the vendor can keep the monies anywhere so long as they don't convert the funds, seems pretty reasonable, but the reality is the answer is A, they must be held in a trust account. Okay, so we've gone through the 10 questions. Thank you so much for watching the video. If you want a bonus question, please stick around. So I'm going to go through one more additional question. This one always got me. So yeah, let's dive right into it. Bonus question. Property is defined as A. Rights or interests which a person has in a thing owned. B. Real if it is a trade fixture. C. Personal if it is a fixture. D. A license to use something owned by another for a temporary period of time. Property is basically just the rights or interests which a person has in a thing owned. So property can be classified as real or personal. Answers B and C are just wrong. So the answer is A, rights or interests which a person has in a thing owned. So if you thought this video was helpful, please subscribe. If you have any additional questions, or maybe you have some test topic that you're struggling with, drop a comment below, and then hopefully I can make a video to help you out with that.